Smoke and flames. I'm Courtney Cole. David and Lisa are off tonight. Now, we know the fire started just before 5 this morning in a 3-story home on Woodworth Road. WBZ's Logan Hall has more tonight from the scene.
All available companies, 28 Woodworth Road for possible structure fire, garage on fire.
Massive flames engulfing a 3-story house in Needham early Wednesday morning. Officials say one person, a 21-year-old woman, died in the fire.
It's a tough day for everybody, especially family.
Crews from multiple fire departments responded at around 5 a.m. Needham Fire Chief Tom Conroy says there were 3 people inside the home at the time of the fire. And 2 of those people were able to escape uninjured.
When they pulled up, it was heavy fire. And like I said, they made an aggressive attack. Struck multiple alarms. We had cities and towns from at least 7 departments here, so they made a very valiant effort. Members of the Needham community have this family on their mind.
Definitely very sad. I'm sure it's extremely traumatic, extra on Christmas Eve, but just, my heart goes out to the family, and, I'm praying for those people.
Ileana.
That breaking news out of Orange County tonight. Here's a live look from Chopper 2 flying over the scene of a deadly shooting investigation. This is at an apartment complex on PGA Boulevard near South John Young Parkway and West Oak Ridge Road.
And you can see it is still a very active scene right now. West Show's Justin Schecker is live on the ground. And Justin, in just the last hour or so, we did get an update from the sheriff's office. What is it?
The Orange County Sheriff's Office says the victim is a 17-year-old boy. When deputies responded here around 2:30 this afternoon, they pronounced the teen dead at the scene. As we take another live look from Chopper 2, I can tell you deputies have roped off a large section of the parking lot at this complex. Right now, several families are unable to get into their homes for Christmas Eve. When we arrived, we could see the boy's body still lying in the road near a carport as they wait for the medical examiner's office to arrive. I spoke with a witness who asked to remain anonymous. He says he called 911 and deputies responded almost immediately. He says he told investigators he saw 2 men run from the scene. He also says he heard at least 5 gunshots.
It sounded like they were just trying to shoot as much as they could and then took off. It was pretty bold. There were kids out playing like right next to where it happened, and they had to run inside immediately, and their parents had to come and grab them.
And we've also seen the Orange County Sheriff's helicopter flying above, presumably searching for the possible suspects. This investigation is still in its early stages, and deputies had no further information to share other than telling us this 17-year-old boy had been shot and killed on Christmas Eve.
We are starting with breaking news this afternoon. Right now, Houston police are investigating a body found in Buffalo Bayou. That makes the 3rd body found in a Houston bayou this week.
We sent our Amanda Henderson as soon as we got word. She joins us live now from the scene. Amanda, what have you learned so far this afternoon?
Cheryl, there are so many questions from so many people because this, of course, is the 3rd body that has been recovered just this week. Different bayous, but Buffalo Bayou known as a very popular location, especially with this weather, for people to come out and to walk, to run, to bike, even to ride their scooters. We want to be very sensitive because in the bayou, they have not recovered the body yet, but we want to show you how many officers there are out here just working the scene to be able to figure out exactly what happened, more details. We want to take you to Air 11. They got some aerials a little bit earlier this afternoon of the scene. Again, this is right off of Memorial, a very, very popular location for families to come to, for people to be walking in. In fact, up here on the bridge, we have a lot of people with us who say that they were just out for their normal run or walk, even on Christmas Eve. But coming up on KHOU 11 at 5 and 6, we're going to try to bring you guys more details. Right now, Houston police saying that they need to collect more information, but we'll toss it back to you.
Right now, a family is making funeral arrangements for a loved one who died after being shot on Tilson Street. This is in southeast Atlanta. Atlanta News First, Alani Latang is outside police headquarters where investigators are sorting through evidence connected to this tragic shooting.
This joyful time quickly turned into a somber note for the family of a 67-year-old woman who died, and now they're hoping her story will help another family. I spoke with a mental health expert who says during the holidays, it's the adults they see that have a hard time asking for help, and they want everyone to know that mental health struggles are not a sign of weakness, but of strength and power, and anyone can help somebody.
She was just a loving woman, that's all.
A son grieving the loss of his mother this Christmas Eve. Atlanta police say a 67-year-old woman died after being shot at a home on the east side.
She would call me every morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. Wake me up. I get on my way to work and she'll talk to me. But I know the calls got few and far between this past week.
Timothy Wainsley is one of her 5 children. He says the family recently learned his mother had been suffering mental health illness, saying her sudden death can be a message of help for others.
I'm someone who was ashamed to tell us that she's been battling a demon for so long. I'm thinking that something that we could do as a black in society is help people with mental illness. It's not a problem for someone to be sick. It's not a problem for someone to go through depression, bipolar. They're still human. They're still family. But we have to find a way to touch, a way to help them or whatever.
Cultural stigmas are something that, it's a real thing. It's a real thing, right?
Chris James, a wellness counselor and mental health first aider with the National Council of Mental Well-Being, says we must be intentional with eliminating cultural stigmas.
We got to consistently ask our loved ones, not how you doing, but how are you feeling? And we got to begin to create space for them to feel comfortable enough to respond with their truth.
Chris says during the holidays, loved ones should look out for behavioral changes, saying to always treat concerning situations as life or death. And for those experiencing holiday depression or mental illness, Chris says embrace those feelings, lean into them, but more importantly,
don't isolate. Don't spend this season by yourself.
Joining us now live outside the Walmart. So Cindy, you've learned some details from talking with people who were there at that time when all this chaos broke out.
Bianca, we're learning that 2 of those 3 men who were involved in this incident are facing charges. 2 of them are each facing a charge of attempted first-degree murder. 2 men are facing charges after an altercation led to a chaotic scene at a Walmart in Wilson, where police say shots were fired.
I heard the gunshots and it was like a slow motion movie. I turned and all I saw was a crowd of people and I just instantly went, okay, this is a scary situation. I need to get me and my mother out of here.
Eyewitnesses say they were evacuated. As you can see from our Chopper 11, police responding to the area on Forest Hill Road. Police say 19-year-old Ashton Pittman got into an altercation with a man near the barbershop inside the store, where a gun was pulled out and shots were fired. During the incident, police say another man, 30-year-old Jordan Battle, exited the shop and pointed his gun at Pittman, prompting another altercation, and a shot was fired from Battle's gun. Police say bystanders intervened, helping unarm and restrain one of the individuals. The Walmart was closed for the rest of the day.
I'm really shocked. This is usually a safe place for everyone to come. Wilson is not but so big, and we don't have a lot of options, but for the Walmart to be closed down, I'm sure it's affecting a lot of people.
Tonight, Birmingham police are investigating a homicide near the Smithfield community. Police say 2 men got into an argument which led to gunshots. Good evening, I'm Avery Boyce. Sherry and Carly are both off. CBS 42 Scott Menshaw spoke with police at the crime scene and has more on this investigation.
Birmingham police say an argument between 2 men led to gunfire, killing one of them. Police say the suspect remained on the scene and is cooperating with investigators. Police say a verbal argument between 2 men led to shots being fired on Christmas Eve. 1 man was pronounced dead at the scene. According to Officer Darrell Freeman of the Birmingham Police Department, this shooting happened at 11:40 a.m. on 9th Street North.
The preliminary investigation has revealed that 2 individuals were involved in a verbal altercation. That verbal altercation led to shots being fired, fatally wounding our victim. It is important to note that the suspect did remain on scene, actually called it in and reported what transpired.
Police are still investigating what the argument was about and the relationship between the 2. The shooting comes just a day before Christmas.
it's extremely tough, and our hearts go out to these families. Everybody, we just ask that everybody just try to have some type of conflict avoidance. We talk about conflict resolution all the time, but how about let's just finding ways to avoid conflict altogether. This is extremely tough for these families, for our officers.
Freeman says the Birmingham Police Department has a message in response to today's shooting.
We just want to let everyone know, like we always know, let's just try to love on one another, enjoy the holidays. We can go without violence. Sometimes we understand that things do get tense, things do get tough, but let's just try to talk it out without resulting to violence so that we won't have to continuously come to situations like this where we have a loss of life and possibly 2 lives if someone did something recklessly without any intent or regard for life.
This is an active investigation. Police say right now the suspect is at Birmingham Police Headquarters where he is being questioned.
Surveillance video inside a Tarrant County convenience store shows a bold ATM theft in action. There are 2 masked men. They're in black. They use a sledgehammer to get inside. Then they hook a rope to the ATM and floor the SUV. The ATM goes flying. The shelves in that store do too. This all happened in White Settlement. Let's go to Fox 4's David Santendry because, David, you spoke with the chief out there. What does the chief have to say?
Yeah, Heather, well, the chief was saying this was a brazen ATM theft, especially when you consider that it was clear there were people inside the store.
Thankful no one was hurt. You have the store clerk in there. You actually had a customer in there.
Surveillance video shows a customer and clerk inside a White Settlement 7-Eleven around 3 a.m. Wednesday. A stolen SUV parks in front of the store. 2 men wearing masks and gloves get out of the SUV. One of them smashes store windows with a sledgehammer. The other hands off a rope with a hook. And they set their sights on an ATM in the back of the store.
Hooks to the ATM, signals to the getaway driver.
Look at this, the force. The ATM pulled out of the store while hooked to the SUV. The men drive off, in and out, in less than 2 minutes.
I mean, to get in and out less than 2 minutes, that is a quick turnaround.
White Settlement Police Chief Christopher Cook says officers responded 15 seconds after the thieves fled, westbound on I-30. And while they got away, they were unable to hold on to the ATM for long.
The cable breaks, and so the ATM goes flying into a grass culvert near a Mitsubishi auto dealership.
Video shows where police found the ATM. License plate readers led police to find the SUV abandoned, a half-mile away from the crime scene.
Of course.
Moving on now, in other news, deputies are trying to track down the gunman behind a holiday tragedy. It happened in Glenwood Heights in Brownsville. That's where a man was killed and a woman seriously injured in a shooting. For more on this story, let's go to CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner, chief reporter in Northwest Miami-Dade, with more from the scene.
Investigators are trying to piece together what exactly happened here, but what we know from the sheriff's office is that someone opened fire here, killing one and sending another to the hospital.
Dozens of evidence markers are spread out in the courtyard of this apartment complex off of 21st Avenue and 62nd Street.
Well, what I heard like about 30-some shots. I was in the bed asleep. I jumped up. They say this girl got shot. I ran out here and seen her. She was laying on the floor.
The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office said their shot spotter system alerted them around 2 in the morning to come to the area. When they got here, they found a man and a woman with gunshot wounds. Paramedics transported the 2 to the hospital where the man died and the woman was last listed in critical condition.
Chaos. Seen the girl laying on the floor, multiple shots. I know her. She don't bother nobody. It's just sad, man. They need to stop that.
Crime scene vans, marked and unmarked vehicles line the street as homicide detectives worked to figure out who did this and why.
It's crazy, man. It's Christmas time. They need to stop doing what they're doing. People got to live out here.
A powerful storm is dumping rain across Southern California on this Christmas Eve. The first wave already causing dangerous flooding and debris flows from San Fernando Valley all the way to the Inland Empire.
Emergency proclamations already been declared for Southern California counties, including right here in L.A. More rain still out there and on the way. Heavy downpours and powerful winds, they've been creating dangerous situations all across the Southland, including submerged cars, toppled trees. Authorities are urging drivers tonight to use caution while heading out for any holiday gathering.
We have live team coverage of the storm. Jean Kang is in studio tracking the forecast. Rachel Menitoff is standing by in the San Fernando Valley. But let's begin with Jillian Smuckler live in the Inland Empire, which has been getting hit hard by the storm. Hi, Jillian.
Hi, Courtney. Yeah, it's really unfortunate given it's Christmas Eve. So many families are getting together. But here in San Bernardino, a lot of them are not doing that in their homes. And that's because this storm is causing a lot of flooding, landslides, and also mud flow, debris flow all throughout the streets, forcing some people out of their homes. And as you just mentioned, the worst is yet to come.
That has a tracker on him.
Okay. Well, we track Santa all over the world. We want to make sure that Santa is being good. Santa's a very good person. We want to make sure that he's not infiltrated, that we're not infiltrating into our country a bad Santa. So we found out that Santa is good.
Thank you. Bye.
Santa loves you. Santa loves Oklahoma like I do. You know, Oklahoma was very good to me in the election, so I love Oklahoma. Don't ever leave Oklahoma, okay?
In the hospital tonight after the Department of Homeland Security says ICE agents opened fire on a van that was allegedly being driven into them. Here's audio from first responders in the last couple of hours.
Medic 18 en route. EMS 1, Battalion Chief 1 respond. 504 West Court. Cross street of Park West Drive. Now reporting gunshot wound.
These images posted by Homeland Security on X show a van that DHS says was driven off the road after ICE officers shot at the driver and passenger during a targeted immigration enforcement operation. According to DHS, ICE officers feared for their lives and began shooting after the driver, quote, attempted to flee and weaponized his vehicle. Both the driver and passenger were hurt and have been taken to a local hospital. Brianna Ross from our NBC station in Baltimore is following this story for us. Brianna, what more are you learning?
Well, Ellison, we know that this happened just before 11 this morning in this Glen Burnie neighborhood. A spokesperson with ICE tells me that ICE agents spotted two men who they say are illegal immigrants. The driver of a van, whose name is Tiago Alexandra Sousa Martins, who they say is from Portugal, and then the passenger of that van, Solomon Antonio Serrano Escovel, who they say is from El Salvador. Now, ICE agents say that they went up to the van to try to talk to the two men, and that's when the driver tried to get away, started ramming his van into ICE vehicles, and then they say that driver sped toward ICE agents, and that's when ICE agents took out their weapons and started shooting. They hit the driver, and that driver then crashed the van in between two buildings. The passenger, we're told, was injured in that crash. We know that both men went to the hospital. We're told they are now in stable condition, expected to recover. ICE says that none of their agents were hurt during this situation, but as you can see, this investigation is still underway. We still see the police tape up behind us. We still see a vehicle from Anne Arundel County Police. That's the county we are in right now. And we actually just saw a tow truck drive past the tape. So we're wondering if that is to tow the van that was crashed actually back in a wooded area back there. We're wondering if that is to retrieve that van. Now, neighbors, as you can imagine, are quite surprised that this is happening in their neighborhood on Christmas Eve. They say this is typically a peaceful, quiet neighborhood. Some neighbors tell me they even heard those gunshots. They came outside to see what was going on and witnessed a chaotic scene here. They say they don't normally see ICE in their neighborhood, so they're really wondering what was going on in this particular situation. But again, this is still under investigation. ICE, Anne Arundel County Police, and the FBI are all now involved in this investigation, and we're continuing to work to learn more. But for now, back to you, Ellison.
Two people did manage